I've got the shits. I've had to completely redesign or rethink my design of the motion sim, and purely based on the fact that what I was going with originally, that would have been the top frame that holds the seat and all the gear and stuff, without the seat or with the seat, is about 50 kilograms, and that's a lot, especially to balance everything out, which I kind of expected might happen, because these things happen when you're DIYing. You sort of test and trial things, and like you've seen in the last video, I've had the seat mounted now on the FGT rig setup. That's all well and good, but yeah, it's way too heavy, and I've just rethought the design that I've come across. It's something now that I have to look back at and redesign. I'm on my way to the shop now to get some more materials, and actually I've decided to go with the steel that I was using was 40 by 40, 2 mil thick, and now I'm going to use 40 by 40, 1.6 just for the top part of the frame. I think that with the right support and strength and all, I think it'll be fine, because it'll also be a lot lighter. So now with the very top frame, I'm trying to go as light as possible. That original frame's going to be way too heavy to move around. It's going to need a really big, long platform at the base, and it's just I've got to be some space conscious, because I don't have much space at home. So come with me now to the shops. Let's buy a couple of things, and let's see if we can't redesign. I should also mention my design now is going to mimic that of DMAX on YouTube, his latest space-saving design that I've been watching recently. So I think that's a pretty good start. We can go from there and kind of mimic the similar sort of dimensions with maybe a few little alterations that I've thought of. Again, got to test it, see if it works. But otherwise, yeah. I'm a little bit frustrated and annoyed because I've been thinking that this is how it's going to look and this is how it's going to do. It's going to work out better in the end. It's going to be lighter, and which means the motors won't have to work as hard. Even though the motors are quite hefty, they'll probably not have an issue moving it. But I think for the sake of weight, space and size of the overall rig, it's probably better just to put something together from scratch, which is fine because that's cool. But yeah, anyway, the original design is done, cooked, as in like it's not going to happen, which is fine. So the FGT rig will be up for sale soon, just the bare bones of it, unless perhaps I use some parts from it and go from there, but maybe we'll see what happens. Anyway, stay tuned. Alright, so on my way to Bunnings, I thought I'd stop in the Green Shed. Now the Green Shed is like a tip shop. It's where people can bring all sorts of shit and they sell stuff. You've got to really look carefully for what you want, and I priced up a couple of lengths of steel that I was going to get from Bunnings, but then I came across this little gem. There's a frame from an old gate. Now it's a bit rough and got a few bits and bobs in it, but nothing that can't be cut out or fixed or welded or re-cleaned and reused. So that's why I'm going to see now how much they want for this thing. I'm going to go for $10. I reckon they'll ask me for that. And even if it's 20, it's still less than 100. And that is going to become our frame. We're going to recut it, reuse it, re-weld it, fix it up, clean it up, paint it up. Job's done. So you find when you look a bit harder. Always looking for some way to cut a few bucks off, and let's see what happens. $10. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. You saved me 100, and just like that, $10 for this amount of steel, which would have otherwise been in landfill or something. Anyway, a free advertisement for the Green Shed. And just like that, my friends, $10 worth of steel would have been $100 off the shelf at a hardware store. That's why it's important to look around. This steel doesn't look great. It just needs a pot, and this needs a clean up and a spray, and then it'll be sweet. If there's holes, we'll fill them with some weld and clean them all up, make it look all nice and pretty. And that's made me happy now, because earlier I was a bit annoyed. So now I think that's going to be more than enough, because it's quite wide and we're only going to use half of it. And I mean, with any luck, one of the sections will be actually ideal, so we might not even need to take too much out of it. We'll just take the top, one of the top sections out, and oh, good stuff, good stuff. Still do have to go to Bunnings though to get a few other bits and pieces. There's some rubber grommets I'm looking at. There's maybe a can of primer just in case in between when I finish welding stuff up. I just want to give it a prime to give it a best chance without going to full paint just yet. But yeah, come with me, let's go. I think M8 size bolts would be good, so I think we have to find 12 and 10 M8. Yep, cool. You know what I just realized? M8. I don't know if it's going to be too small or too big. Also, some cable. Actually, these ones are cheaper. $6. Beautiful. Just for not just the rig, but for other shit at home. Always need something like that. Alright, and after looking for 5 minutes, now we've finally found the rubber grommets. It's 19 by 1.2 mil. Only concern, I wouldn't mind using that, but I just have to figure out a way to bend it properly. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll buy it and then I'll figure that out later. Hopefully I can make that work. I think I got a tube bending tool, and that shouldn't be too hard to bend or weld, so I'll give it a crack. See what happens. They're only $5 each anyway, and if I don't use it I can bring it back. This thing's going to escalate. I came in with the idea of getting like 2 things in Bunnings, and now I'm walking out with a handful. But it's all good stuff and all usable, hopefully. And bar that we can use for the sliding platform. Just trying to work out 3 mil, 50. Those two are the same. One's galvanized, I think, and the other one's just mild. Oh yeah, mild and galvanized. So I think the mild is fine because we're gonna spray it anyway, so it's half the price and it'll fit in the car. Alright, so that was Bunnings, and got everything, well, not everything. The only thing I didn't get was the bearing that I want to use for the pivot point at the front of the whole thing. I have to get another place for that because there's nothing around here that has that kind of stuff unless I get it online. But anyway, we've still got plenty to do before all of that happens. But yeah, overall successful. Now it's time for a cheeseburger, I reckon. Until next time, peace.